thank you all for coming. We're glad you're here. This is the first year we've been able to host this here since we've reopened and rebranded the Holiday Inn, so I hope everybody enjoys themselves. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce the wrangler of this event, Mr. Tom Seelig.
Well, thanks for coming. It's exciting to be here. This is really, the hotel is really well done. I had a tour of the rooms, and it's a special place. But anyway, my name is Tom Seelig. I work at West Bank. We've done this lunch, Kelly and I think, since last century, and that's a true story, by the way. So, but you know, it's sort of a holiday season, and obviously Christmas is part of it. We do want to mention Hanukkah. It starts December 14th, and the Festival of Lights, and then Kwanzaa starts December 26th. So I think it's important that while Christmas is part of the theme, this is really a holiday season for everybody. We want to welcome everybody in our community. A couple of things. First, thanks for coming. We do these events. This is my fourth one this fall, but people show up, and that means a lot. So if you don't come, it doesn't work. So, and our goal is just to build community. There's no special rules here. We want to get together, have some fellowship, and remind ourselves we're all in this together. So our goal is to have a little substance today and maybe some fun, and to celebrate the holiday season. So I think that covers me. So Kelly, you're in charge.
Thank you very much. We do, as Tom said, appreciate all of you being here. We want to get going with our program because we got a lot of great information to share with you this year. And the first one that we're going to start with is Sherry Proud, and she's going to talk about some of the improvements that are going to be made coming up this summer. We are so thankful to have so many of you in this audience help us this year or vote for the local option sales tax in all three communities. Who would have thought that we could pass with 85% of the vote? So thank you very, very much. All three communities have some great lineups of activities and things that they're going to do with the funding, and Sherry is going to start and talk about the first one.
I would echo Kelly's thanks. We're just so excited that the local option sales tax passed and that we have this opportunity to create a new space for the residents of Coralville in redoing the Coralville Recreation Center and the indoor pool, and as well as some park improvements to St. Morrison Park. So I'll let Kelly, we're going to go through the renderings and just show you a little bit about. We first did a master plan to redo the Coralville Recreation Center in 2004, and in 2023 we brought that back up and went through, reimagined it with the community and developed a new master plan. The rendering you see here is from the southwest side of the park looking across to the northeast. This new recreation center is 109,000 square feet as planned right now. The City Council voted in August of 2024 not only to adopt the master plan, but they chose to go with a new recreation center rather than a renovated and added on to. So that allowed us to go 2 stories and lessen our footprint on the park than it would be to sprawl out a little bit more with a renovation addition. We are, let's see, enter, there we go. This is looking from the, about where the playground is in St. Morrison Park. And we're really excited about bringing kind of a plaza space under one of the corners of the new rec center and making that the new shelter space. We'll be renovating the playground along with that. We, as you walk in the front doors, light, bright, airy, 2-story, lots of volume, lots of activity. We had over 15,300 registrations this past year for people who are participating in programs with Parks and Recreation. We support 35 staff members out of this building, and we had over 397,000 check-ins, whether that be drop-in or for a program, this past year of programs working out of the Coralville Recreation Center. So we're ready for an expansion. We'll be about 3 times bigger than we are now, and just excited for what's to happen here for the community. Indoor walking track was the #1 thing that people have wanted for quite some time. So we'll have a 3-lane indoor walking track, 12 laps to make a mile, 3 indoor courts you see there, gyms, volleyball, basketball, futsal, soccer, of course pickleball, just all kinds of things going on, and some fun hangout spaces that are also available in the gym if people just want to watch and spectate. We visited a lot of facilities, got a lot of ideas. Of course, we've been making lists, as park and recreation professionals are really good at, for quite some time about what we'd like to have in a new building, and then we had lots of input from the community. This shows one of the turf spaces that can also be flipped into drop-down batting cages, which can also be flipped into those bolsters and fun activities that you can pull out for maybe birthday parties or special events there. The hallway you see there goes down to access the gymnasium. And then we are partnering with the Iowa City Community School District. We've been partners with them since 1987. And we are the home of West High and Liberty swim teams, as well as Northwest Middle School right now. North Central will join us in the future, so we'll have 8 swim teams that will practice out of this space. You're looking, this rendering is in the seating space for 400. That's a 1.5 stories in the air with raked seating, and could look down on those 8 competition lap lanes. And then you can turn that pool the other way. You can take those lap lanes and turn them for 10 lap lanes for practice. Looking on through to a recreational lap and instructional pool where we would have aqua aerobics, fun things going on in that area, and then all the way down to the top of the page is our leisure pool. So introducing those families to aquatics at an early age where the pool is warm and it's inviting and it's fun and there's lots of spray opportunities there in that pool. So we're looking forward to the community getting to use that space. Another rendering looking the other way. We are construction estimate right now at about $48 million, and total project cost for the recreation center with all of the consultant fees and everything around $56 million in all in. During this, we will be, right now we've already jumped into schematic design. We'll finish that up, start design documents in late February, early March, and construction documents by the middle of April into June. So we are looking at breaking ground with the utilities, grading package, fencing, all of that, somewhere between the middle of June to the middle of July. And so we're really going at it really quickly here. And at that same time that we are getting started on the recreation center, we are also planning for a renovation to what we call our civic campus here along 5th Street. So we've got S.T. Morrison Park, the lower end, City Hall and the library in front of fire and police. All of that area is our civic campus area. And we're looking at about a $4 million renovation to S.T. Morrison Park, redoing the pond, doing some nice walkways, renovating fireside shelter and putting in a new shelter, another playground at that end of the park, an area for concerts, redoing some outlooks over the pond, some really neat spaces where maybe you can bring your checkers along and there's already a checkerboard table there for you to participate in, some activities, porch swings, things like that. So we're excited about that as well. The whole area is just going to have this wonderful update, and then we're also looking at the front of the public library at the same time has a wonderful design for bringing what's inside out and being able to sit and read, relax, have a big open lawn that's ready for activities and has all the electrical there for the community meals and everything that we hold, as well as some hardscape spaces that will really function nice for story time and other activities. So we're really excited about what's going on here in the next couple of years for Coralville and for the residents and for really our whole area, because we do draw from other communities. We are looking to be done with everything. We'll build to the east of the recreation center, and then move in and tear down to the existing recreation center, and that becomes parking. And all in, all done, we hope by August of 2028.
There you go.
Sherry, thanks. That was impressive. I didn't realize the scope of the project. Very exciting, and the future is very bright with that project. Okay, next, Emily Hamas is going to come up. She's going to introduce our next speakers that I call the Coralville West Project. It's a housing project in West Coralville, and it's a combination of Elevation Homes and Hodge Construction Company. So, Emily, you're in charge.
Thank you. I just want to start by giving Tom and Kelly a round of applause. We appreciate you and our community members who are constantly praising others for their successes and just sharing with all of us the excitement of what's going on in Coralville and beyond. So, a round of applause. Okay, it is my pleasure to introduce to you two of our West Village team members, Kim Marshall and Weston Hodge. Kim is the CEO and lead designer at Elevation Home Builders. She graduated from the University of Iowa Tippie College of Business and later moved to San Diego for about 5 years, where she built her career. She pursued her passion in design, started to take courses, and began working with house and restoration hardware. Kim and her husband Austin moved back to the area in 2022, and Kim joined the Elevation Home Builders team. Kim brings her diverse knowledge and experience to Elevation Home Builders and is an integral part of the company's success in creating beautifully designed homes and highly functional homes. The homes in West Village are going to be standout due to Kim's impeccable design and her execution of securing quality finishes. Not only is she extremely professional and a reliable team member, but she is collaborative, fun, and a joy to work with. She has 2 kids. Her son, Finn, is 3, and her daughter, Charlie, is 1. Weston Hodge is a partner and the director of residential construction for Hodge Construction Company. Weston has worked in the construction industry wearing many hats. He's been a framer, a trim carpenter, and a general contractor. I have repeatedly witnessed Weston's clients praise him for his impeccable attention to detail and top-notch customer service. Weston and his wife Danielle, who is a nurse practitioner at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics in the pediatric ICU, have 4 kids. Reagan is a freshman cheering at Iowa State University. I believe that Levi is a junior, and Adrian is a freshman at West High School, and Cam is a 7th grader at Northwest Middle School. Weston's life is full and fun. He would not want me to talk about him without mentioning his monster buck that he got this fall. In the little spare time that he has, you can find him in the tree stand. I'm excited for you to hear from both of them on our West Village project coming to West Coralville.
Perfect. I can leave my monster buck story out of it then. Good. Thanks, Emily. Yep. Again, I'm Weston Hodge, Hodge Construction, and this is
Kim Marshall, and I'm with Elevation Home Builders.
So we're going to talk about the West Village development. I'm going to go over the site plan, kind of the overview of the vision, and then Kim's going to go over the details and the housing design and finish it off from there. Who's running the computer? Okay, so this is the West Village development. It's off, if you're headed north on 965, you go left on Oakdale, so you're headed west. And it's broken up into 3 phases. So I had a laser pointer. I was gonna kind of outline it. It's out of batteries. That's what I could do. So, phase 1 is here. Phase 2 will be all of this. And phase 3 is this commercial area here. If anybody else wants to use my pointer, you got it from my daughter. Okay. So 3 phases over 8 years. There is 450 residential units. There are 33,000 square feet of commercial space, which will all be on the lower levels of all the commercial to the east there. 140 townhomes. I'm going out of order a little. 140 townhomes or row houses. If Nate Knaus was here with elevation, row houses, right? Row homes. Okay. 22 single-family detached homes, meaning detached garages. 288 multifamily units, and those would be the units that are within the commercial space over to the east, so apartments, essentially. Okay. Go ahead. Yep. I mean, this didn't do much for her, right? Okay. So going through kind of the amenities of the development, the vision, what we're trying to create here. There's 3.5 acres of community open space, meaning there's the Prairie Park to the north, which will be like prairie grass and you know, open area. Currently, it's a drainage basin. It's not much to look at. So that's a year down the road. The dog park, Billy, everyone has a dog anymore, right? The dog park, that's essential. And then the community park with the gazebo and play areas, which I don't know how well. You can see it on the lower map. So the pink areas. So the lower one is the gazebo and play area, which will have, you know, a play set, swings, slides. I guess the vision here, right, is it's community. There's a school to the west, and that school, the name, I always forget the name of that school. East Ridge Elementary. So, you know, people are moving here. People are coming here. We're trying to create a community to where everything's walkable. So the vision for the commercial space would be, you know, we get restaurants, we get coffee shops, maybe some retail. In the end, you know, that's only the hope, right? I mean, I don't know what businesses will want to be there. I prefer not to have office spaces, but you know, when it comes down to it, who wants to pay rent? So that's the vision, right? You can walk everywhere. It's a community. Go ahead. And this is exactly what I just said. Human scale planning that prioritizes people over cars. You can walk places. Walkable, connected neighborhoods close to parks and schools. Covered that. Stronger social connection and enhanced quality of life. So it's very similar. I don't want to say it, but it's really similar to Peninsula. I mean, that's the whole vision, right? And Kim can speak to that too. So I'm going to turn it over to Kim on design and show you what the renderings look like and what we're shooting for. Thank you.
I'm good with the pointer, thank you. So this slide here is actually an exterior elevation of one of our 3-plex brownstones. This particular unit is currently under construction and will be completed within phase 1. As you can see, it features a full brick facade. So throughout the neighborhood, we'll have a combination of brick and/or LP siding, just to add depth and visual interest throughout the community. Our priority is to create a timeless, low-maintenance neighborhood that's built to last. Approximately 30% of these homes will be brick, with the remainder being that high-quality LP siding. The overall aesthetic is drawn from like East Coast brownstone feel. We really wanted warm tones, inviting textures, and character-rich details. So to achieve this look, we've thoughtfully selected, window colors, the arched details above the windows, decorative corbels, a balance of mixed materials, and just a warm, cohesive color palette. So the neighborhood is intentionally designed around people, as Weston mentioned, pedestrian priority over cars. So we have intentionally narrower streets to create a more cozy, intimate streetscape, and this will naturally slow traffic a little bit. We're especially excited about Coralville's approval for street trees. Street trees are planted between the sidewalk and the street, just kind of softening the entire environment. The trees will enhance curb appeal, provide shade, and contribute a welcoming, walkable atmosphere. So the setbacks for this particular neighborhood, all homes will feature a smaller setback. So we're talking about the area between the street and the front of the home. This essentially will just bring the residents closer to the street and enhance that connection. Most single-family homes will have a front porch, just encouraging neighborhood interaction. And the yards will be intentionally smaller, low maintenance, while also increasing the charm and encouraging more purposeful design. So this is actually an image from the Peninsula neighborhood here in Iowa City, and we drew a lot of inspo from this. You know, its character, walkability, architectural warmth, these were all guiding benchmarks throughout the planning phase of West Village. So the overall vision, our goal is just to create a warm, walkable neighborhood with a brownstone-inspired aesthetic. We aim to build a community that feels connected, timeless, and welcoming. Ultimately, we're creating a place for residents to enjoy for years in a neighborhood with character and thoughtful design. Thank you.
Thank you very much. When the Hodge Group and Elevate came to us with this concept, the city council, mayor, staff all jumped on board because we were really excited about how this is going to be a great addition to the entrance to that west area. And with the elementary school there, this is going to be a special place that you're all going to want to visit and hopefully live. Our next speaker is Nick Katz, and Nick is from Shive Hattery, and Nick has been working on this particular project for a little over 6 years. And not to say that he's slow or anything. Let's see if I can find it here, Nick.
It's the 2025-12. One more. Yep, right there.
Right there?
Yep, right there.
So this is the Gather Iowa project. We get questions about this every day. This is that area next to Highway 6 and First Avenue. A lot of the properties have been already torn down. This was a key area, and when I say 6 years that Nick has been working on it, the city of Coralville has been working on this for over 10 years. Back in 2014, the city council, planning and zoning, put this on as part of their development plan. When we looked at the community plan, this was identified as a key area of redevelopment for our community. And ever since that time in 2014, we have been working with different groups to move this forward. And we've actually been through 2 development groups before Nick got involved. And so Nick actually and the development group stuck with us, and he is going to tell us a little bit about where we're at and the next stages and what all this is going to include. One of the other key components that came along as part of this is Greater IC developed their strategic investment districts. And as part of our discussions a little over 2 years ago, the Greater IC designated the 5th Street area down to and including this area as the strategic investment district for Coralville. And I think you'll see as you move forward why this area was picked by Greater IC and why this is going to be an exciting new development for our community. So Nick.
Hey, happy holidays, everyone. And yeah, I've been working on it for 6 years because I always get all the really hard developments. But yeah, Nick Katz, I'm the managing director of the Cedar Rapids office for Shive Hattery and also the civil engineer on this project. I'm going to try and I do want to give some credit to the rest of the project team. My client and the developers, Real Corporation, led by Graham Real, who is just a really great guy, who really has a great vision that's clear through all of the work that he's done across the country. And he just has been very persistent with this. His kind of right-hand man, Billy Avila, is also just been fantastic to work with. Dwell Design Studios is the architect for the project. There's been some others, but they're the one that has gotten it to the finish line. And then TBG Partners has done the landscape architecture. So the renderings were supplied by Real Corporation, but just wanted to give some shout out to them because they've done a great job. Yeah, I get to deal with all the fun, not so sexy civil engineering stuff. And then one other thing I'd like to note is City of Coralville has really been fantastic to work with throughout this entire time. I mean, staff is just so great to work with, as well as P&Z Commission and City Council. When I'm working with developers, they just know that they are going to be kind of treated right going into Coralville. And I think that that's led to why you have so many awesome developments in Coralville, which were awesome to hear about and see so far. And then, yeah, this will be a fantastic kickstart to the Strategic Investment District. So a little bit about the timeline. Master planning for this started back in 2019, where Shive Hattery did provide master planning services for civil architecture and LA back in the day. There's kind of a current rendering, kind of as you're coming in off of the strip. With, like Kelly said, demolition has begun and is currently underway. With, I believe, phase one will be completed in 2027, with hoping to get the full build out by 2028. The general contracting partner will be DCI Group over there in the back, who has just gotten done with some really fantastic projects in the area. That experience from Replay off of Riverside Drive, as well as some projects up in Uptown Marion. So their experience there will definitely lead to a really great delivery here. If people remember what it was like, it was a bit of a mess, really kind of in need of some new life. But yeah, it's located off the southwest corner of 1st Avenue and 2nd Street, about 10 acres. And then just one of the litany of development difficulties here was it was an assemblage of 16 different properties across multiple different owners. And it really needed the whole works of all the stuff that I have to deal with on development projects, with future land use map amendments, rezonings, preliminary and final plattings, both a master plan PUD-A and PUD-B site plan, floodplain development, and then significant utility relocation. So that's why it took 6 years. It's just a lot of stuff to deal with. And it was really great for cutting through back in the day. I went to West High, grew up in Coralville. First job was at the Coralville Rec, so looking forward to seeing that new rec center. But there's the dashed line of one of the many places I used to cut through here when I was getting stuck at the light there. So that was great. But that will be greatly reduced and improved, as there's going to be 2 new traffic signals where we're kind of reconfiguring the access to align with Monica's driveway there on the strip, while reducing proactively other accesses and curb cuts, which just leads to worse traffic performance along the strip, which I'm sure everyone will enjoy, as well as another signal down there off of 1st Avenue. One other thing to really note is, the reason why the prior teams weren't able to really get this done was the overhead transmission relocation, which was just kind of very substantial new infrastructure. I'm going to speed up a little bit so I don't go too far over. Overviewing the project, you can see on the north side there's multi-tenant commercial buildings. They're about 7,000 square feet each. There's kind of a beautiful picture of it from the internal festival street, where they'll have a mixture of retail and restaurant spaces planned. Again, trying to activate the space in a very kind of multimodal, walkable sense. The architects did a fantastic job with the detailing of the elevations, really breaking up the facade, and it really doesn't have a back of house, so they did a good job having it be very aesthetically pleasing from all angles of the building. Then moving down, you got the multi-tenant building, which is kind of with the internal parking ramp that is kind of wrapped with apartment units. So you're really not going to see that. With just, again, the architectural elevation. I'm not an architect, so I can't speak as eloquently on that, but I think it looks beautiful. 6-story building, 280 units, a mixture of bedrooms. There will be a coffee shop, and I believe maybe even a co-working space, and then that 5.5-story parking garage. Credit to the city of Coralville for being proactive in their zoning and parking regulations, so that they didn't have the entire development be beholden to parking requirements. Here's just kind of a beautiful kind of drop-off for the main building with that kind of coffee shop concept there. And you can see kind of ample spaces and aesthetic improvements for pedestrian circulation, as well as just, I don't know what else to say other than it's just a beautiful building that's being planned. It's all really tied together through a variety of exterior amenities. There's a future pedestrian trail connection and bridge to the north that'll pull people in into various courtyards and a festival street. So I'm looking forward to me and my kiddos and wife kind of being pulled into the development from the strip as you're kind of walking between the commercial buildings there. And then, looking around as you're kind of visualizing it, seeing this nice kind of third-party gathering spaces for both, kind of programmed and unprogrammed space, where it's kind of a festival street that could be closed down for, say, tailgating or something like that. Finally kind of being pulled into this kind of sunken garden kind of exterior space that will be beneficial for the commercial and residential residences. This is not a rendering for this project, but a similar feel of one of their other projects where the residential amenities will include, pool courtyard and other activity spaces. So that looks pretty sweet, like something I'd see out in Denver. And then, there's a second addition with an affordable housing project on the south side and a planned hotel. Thanks, everyone. Great project.
Thank you very much, Nick. We really appreciate Nick and Shive Hattery's efforts with this and our partners with Graham Rail. This is a monumental project, and it's really going to change the face of that area, and we really appreciate their efforts. There was a lot of people in the community that put in effort to get us to this point. There were attorneys and landowners and others that all pulled together to make this a success, and so we thank all of you for that. Our next speaker is from Think Iowa City, and we've got Stacy here and Luke backed out on us? What the heck? So, and Josh Schomburger. This past couple of months, Josh and Stacy started sending me emails. Well, do you think at this time in July that we can make this work? And do you think in June this can work? And in May we got this coming, and in April we got this coming. And so it's shaping up to be an unbelievable year for our whole community, for who we are going to be inviting in from all around the country and all around the world. So we just appreciate everything that they have invested in the time and efforts into making our community a great place to live and to visit. So Stacy, before I go forward though, I should mention, I do want to mention that if any of you were wondering about that 85% vote, in Coralville, we had a great team, and Stacy was heading that up for us. So we want to thank her for all of
that. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Kelly and Tom and West Bank, for allowing us to come talk about all the fun stuff going on in 2026. And then, of course, this is Luke. Josh, who needs no introduction. So simply put, really our job is to bring as many visitors as possible to fill hotels, shops, restaurants, and attractions. We're very much driven by increasing the economic impact of our community and supporting the local business community. So since this is a holiday fun lunch, we thought we'd try to keep it a little bit festive and talk about the great things that are coming to the area, and then also have some fun giveaways as well. So we'll do a little bit of trivia between sharing some of the great events that are coming. So don't be shy, speak up, raise your hand when asked. So instead of 12 drummers drumming, we have thousands of visitors driving and flying in to come to Coralville in 2026. No partridges in pear tree, but the 12 months of events of 2026. So in January, we're gonna kick it off right here with a strong sports start to the year.
All right, hello everyone. I'm not Luke. You can tell by my ears. I have normal ears. And Luke has really bad wrestling ears. But Luke had a last minute family emergency. He tells me everything's okay, but he has to be there. So I'm going to fill in for Luke on a couple things here and kick things off with Stacy. I want to echo Kelly though, in Stacy's unpaid job of passing that local option sales tax was just phenomenal. So Nick Pfeiffer only passed the conservation bond last year by 78%, and so he's the big loser in our office. So January, the month of January, really kicking things off in sports. We're obviously in the middle of wrestling season, and so really the first weekend in January is our first big event. It's the 3rd annual Soldier Salute Wrestling Tournament, which has become a really big event for Coralville. It happens at Extreme Arena. We moved it from the 28th and 30th to the first weekend, and that's when it'll take place every year. This year, in addition to the Iowa team, we'll have the entire squad. Each one of these schools will bring about 30 wrestlers from North Carolina, Wyoming, Navy, VMI, Iowa State, UNI, Missouri, South Dakota State, Bellarmine, Minnesota. Even have a few kids coming in from Harvard and Illinois and many, many others. So it's become the go-to pre-conference season wrestling tournament. This year it's only men. It's historically been men and women, but we had to move the dates, and the women, we created a brand new event for them that's going to be in February, so we'll talk about that next month. That's the big one that kicks off January.
Awesome. So, and we do a lot of that. They facilitate that event, so you will actually see me kick off my heels and rolling out mats. And we're always taking volunteers. So, if anybody wants to learn how to do that, you're more than welcome to join us. So, the first giveaway. So, who can guess the number of wrestling mats that the Iowa City Area Sports Commission owns to help facilitate all of the wrestling events they do? Anybody have a guess?
Not yet.
No.
22.
45.
Okay, I'm gonna do Price is Right rules on this. So 110. So and then we have ornaments for those that are winners. So I'll hand them out. So just to put that into an idea of how much mat that is, so 110 would be over 30,000 square foot of wrestling mats. So yes, quite a bit. All right, and then we're on to February. We continue talking about sports.
Sports, it's about swimming and girls wrestling. The girls state tournament returns for its 4th year. Just about, actually it's the trivia question. I'm glad I didn't say what happened with girls wrestling. Girls state wrestling will be here February 4th through the 6th. A big tournament, and then the day after will be boys state wrestling. The boys state dual tournament will take place. And then the day after that is the brand new college women's wrestling event, which is called the For Her Duels, where we will have the top programs from the NCAA and the NAIA wrestling here against each other. And then towards the end of the month, we welcome back the Summit League Swimming and Diving Championships. So Summit League, I forget all the schools in that. I think South Dakota is one. We've been hosting a lot of Summit League and MVC, Missouri Valley Conference events, and so the swimming championships for their conference will be here February 18th to the 20th.
Okay, next question. Estimate how many current Iowa high school girls wrestlers are there in the state of Iowa?
350. 200. 400.
Way low.
1,200. 3,000. 500.
3,700.
Whoa.
Woo!
3,700. Any idea how many were here and how many wrestlers there were from the girls in 2022, just 3 years ago? 81. It's the fastest growing sport in the entire United States, girls wrestling. You can look up the numbers, it's significant. We go right into March, and that is championship month, which is the absolute craziest month we've ever seen from a sports perspective. I don't know that Luke and his staff will sleep much, but it's every weekend is full. We kick things off with the first ever, the inaugural NCAA Women's Wrestling Championships. They finally have an NCAA event, and that will happen this year, and they're trying to talk us into doing it for 2 years in a row here in Iowa at Extreme Arena. Then right after that, we have the Special Olympics Midwinter Tournament, which is one of our favorite events from March 13th to the 14th. And then Extreme Arena in Coralville will play home to the Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Championships. So a significant event, really home court for Drake and you and I. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of those fans here in Coralville from the 13th through the 16th. And then we close the month out that month with the National Universal Ballet Competitions. Their semifinals will be here March 20th through the 22nd. And Luke can tell you more about that because he's got a daughter that dances.
Easier question. How many schools are in the MVC conference? Whoever said 12. It's 11, but we'll say 12. Who said 11 or 12? Jeff. Okay, I'll come to you in a second. So we really love hosting a lot of other of our conferences in the spring as well. Limestone is a tenured group. GammaCon, which is adults that love game boards. There's a group for everything, let me tell you. And Iowa High School Athletic Directors Association, longstanding partners, are here as well in March. In April, we always love hosting the Iowa-Illinois Safety Council Annual Conference as well. Next giveaway question. Guess how many millions of dollars in visitor spending was in Johnson County in 2024?
151.
Oh, come on. That's 2023 numbers.
But you're going to be close enough, Katie.
Yeah, we'll give you the ornaments. 478 million. Wow. So it's a good reminder that even as residents, we don't really think about that as a giant industry, but it is a very large economic engine in our community. So good to always remember that. That leads us into May. We always love we have a Midwest Energy Regional Conference that's here as well, and then there are more sports in May.
Yeah, I forgot a big one in February. At the end of February, we have 200 basketball teams here from all over the Midwest for the middle school basketball championships towards the end of February. I forget the dates, but that one was in Luke's notes. Skipping ahead to the month of May, we will welcome back the girls and boys Girls State Golf Championships for the Girls Union, and then the Boys State Tennis Championships for the High School Boys Association. And then one of the biggest events in wrestling, the first time it's really been in the United States in decades, Coralville will be home to the Senior Pan American Championships. So we will have 31 countries flying in.
That's a trivia question.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
It's all good. We can skip one.
I'll have a better trivia question. 31. You win, Steve. We will have 31 nations flying in from Latin, South America, and obviously us in Canada, here in North America. And it will be a big-time event. Those things take a lot of work. So huge thanks to our federal delegation who has to make sure that our president and State Department understand that this is good for America, and that is we are hosting international sporting events. And so we have to work with 31 different embassies to make sure all visas are approved for all of these nations to fly in and wrestle here. So it'll be a very, very big event. You'll see lots of flags, and you'll see lots of visitors here for about 5 days from all over North and South America. Trivia question. Where were the Pan American Championships last year? Lima, no, but that you know what, I'm going to give it to him because the U23 Pan American Championships were in Lima. They were in Monterrey, Mexico last year. So, United States.
All right, I know we gotta speed things up, so we're gonna move along and do 3 months in a row. So June, July, August is gonna be a crazy whirlwind of conferences, conventions, and sporting events. So if you see somebody in Iowa River Landing that's wearing a lanyard and looks really confused, they're probably a visitor and probably here from one of those events. So make sure that you're continuing Coralville's tradition of being a hub of hospitality and welcome them or be a wayfinder for us too. So Iowa Association of Business and Industry will be here in June. That is 600 of the state's top leaders in manufacturing, industry, and business. So that's a great program. We're excited to have them return. National High School athletic coaches will also be here in June. Catholic Daughters of America, which is the biggest convention that has been to Coralville, will be here in July. That'll be 1,000 attendees. Wiffles Hybrid Seed Kickoff, which is a giant group that we're also excited to welcome back. Anime will be here, which is another great tenured group. They bring 3,000 of their friends. I'm sure you guys you'll know when they're in town. And then the Jehovah's Witness, which also brings 3,000 on August 28th. Our arena partners love them because they personally clean everything inside that building. So if you are at an event on September 1st and you see it gleaming, you will know why. And then, of course, another really big event that's happening this summer.
Yeah, in July, we're bringing the Savannah Bananas to Kinnick Stadium. So big event, a lot of work ahead of us on that one. Great partners with the University of Iowa. We were second in the entire nation for ticket requests, 440,000 ticket requests to see the Savannah Bananas. They fully expect to sell out 2 days of Kinnick Stadium on July 3rd and 4th. Every hotel room in town will be full. We actually moved the Jehovah's Conference so we could get more hotel capacity and better rate at all of those events. So we cannot get you tickets. You're on your own.
Okay, next question. Give a guess about how many hotel rooms the Catholic Daughters of America will use between 5 hotels in Coralville.
500. 650.
Who said 1,500? Okay, it's 2,015. So I'll be over there in a second. But yes, lots of hotel rooms. September and October, months 9 and 10. We're always very incredibly grateful for our hotel partners. They do an immense amount of association business, and that tends to be very, very busy in the fall. A couple examples, our great partners at the Iowa Motor Truck Association will be here. Iowa Optometric will be here. Iowa Association of Community Providers. There's so many that they bring to between this hotel, our Hyatt Convention Center, so always happy to welcome all of them. Another question. With all of the sports we've been talking about, how many high school state championships will the Iowa City Sports Commission bring to the community in 2026? 17. Who said 7? 9 is the total. Again, Price is Right rules. 9. Does any other city bring that many?
Maybe 2, maybe.
No, 9. That's just kind of an incredible number. And then we're on to months 11 and 12. We bring it full circle back to more sports.
Girls State Volleyball again, which we just had. Hard to think that's going to be back, but it will in 11 months. And then the week after that, over in Iowa City, Girls State Swimming and Diving. And then we'll have Donnybrook, which we just finished this weekend. We had 88 high schools here from all over the Midwest. Just over 1,000 wrestlers, 535 girls for a 3-day tournament that they hosted. So pretty significant. I'll mention Ukraine in a minute.
Oh, okay. And then also really excited in December to welcome a new convention, Eco Ag, which is about regenerative agriculture. So very excited. That is something that was won from Madison, Wisconsin. So even though we might be a smaller community, we 100% can toe the line to bigger cities. Eco Ag is one of the events where someone will talk about microbial activity, soil health, and fun, all used in the same sentence. So. But that is 1,300 people we expect for that event, and they are also booked for 2027, so that was a multi-year that we're excited about.
Can I change the trivia question?
Sure.
So can anybody besides Greater IC, Katie, Nancy, none of you can answer, but can anybody else here understand what language is on my sweatshirt? Ukrainian. Who said Ukrainian? There we go, a perfect couple.
I already won.
Oh, you already won. We'll give it to your great husband.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but she's a cheater.
Oh.
Yeah. She actually picked him up at the airport with me. So we have the Ukrainian women's national team in town right now. They arrived Thursday night. It's a significant deal. It just goes to testament to Coralville, Iowa City being truly Wrestletown, USA. I spent the last 4 days with them, completely exhausted because I'm shuttling them everywhere, being their team manager while our staff put on Donnybrook. But these are a special, special group of women. what they're going through at home. They have to train in bunkers. They have to stop training when they have air raid sirens, which happens multiple times during their practices. They spend a lot of time in Warsaw, Poland, training. They have to take a train just to get to a safe space to where they can then get on a bus to get to the airport to fly here. So what these 10 women, and we've gotten to know them very well. They came here originally in December of 22 and they won the World Cup, which is a major, major international event. Fell in love with Coralville. They are just a great group of women, and they're back. They love it. They call Coralville their home, their United States home. They spent a lot of time. They love 30 Hop burgers. They always ask to go get a burger at 30 Hop. And so they will be here for the next 2 weeks. Team USA flew in yesterday with 32 women. So Ukraine, USA, and our Iowa women will train together very hard over the next 2 weeks. Makes our women that much better on the women's wrestling program. And on December 18th, a week from Thursday, you've seen the slide go up, I would ask all of you, if you don't know anything about wrestling, to please come to Extreme Arena. There's no admission. You have to bring a non-perishable food item for the Coralville Food Pantry. We will collect a lot of items for Hi and the whole team here and get it over to the pantry. And you will see something that you don't get to see too often. Team USA is going to wrestle Team Ukraine live there on the mat, and they brought a bunch of hammers. They're full of world champions, special group. Just before that, as the undercard, City High is going to wrestle West High. So really cool opportunity for the high school girls to get on a raised mat, elevated stage in an arena like that, and wrestle each other and then see the best in the world, truly the best in the world wrestle at Extreme. So please come that night and tell everybody you know. There's flyers on your table.
Awesome, and we will do that one last trivia question, because why not? We still got lots of ornaments. And if you did win, please find me after this if I didn't go and give one to you directly. How many visitors come to Coralville for the Girls State Volleyball Tournament based on ticket sales from our arena partners and our geo-tracking? I'm sorry. 30,000.
Was that Vern? Oh, the Hieronyms, they're winning everything.
So
That's what you do.
It's a huge event.
I know you do.
So in 2026, we will continue to do our work. We'll continue to bid on events, hosting site tours, bringing new visitors to our region. We very much are the storytellers for our destination. Very happy to do so. As we talk about this, we really encourage you to be the Sherpas for our industry. Get out there, spread awareness about it. And if you go to events, if you travel, if you go to conferences, we would love to learn about that and how we can partner and potentially bring that event right here to home. I think I was hustling the sheriff earlier about his sheriff association. I'm like, where do you meet at? Why is it not a police chief's meet here? So we always want to have that conversation, absolutely. Anything else in closing?
Thank you all. Appreciate everything you do.
And then, on one more note, I just want to say, a lot of our efforts between Luke and I can be attributed to a lot of things. Strong leadership is a big part of that, though, to give really Luke and I the autonomy to bring a lot of these events to our community and giving us the guidance. It's a huge factor. So we really just want to say thank you to our leader, Josh. He has been the personal escort of Team Ukraine the entire weekend, being their personal driver for everything. So nothing is too small for him, and he really helps us in our efforts in making it happen. It was also his birthday on Friday, and so we just want to recognize happy birthday, Josh. I'm not going to sing because you're embarrassed. Thank you.
That was amazing. A couple of things. First, I want to thank Greater Iowa City. They were a partner today. This is the Monday Coralville Luncheon Day, and they did all the reservations for us. And I want to recognize Mackenzie DeRue. Mackenzie ran the sales tax campaign in Iowa City, and she brought that thing home. So congratulations to her. Now, is Megan Foster here?
She was not able.
Oh, she can't. Well, okay. I wanted to recognize Megan Foster, the mayor of Coralville. She's been the mayor for 4 years, but her term ends December 31st, and she's done a remarkable job. As you may know, she was the first female mayor ever in the history of Coralville, and she's been works at DVIP. She's works for the volunteer at the food pantry, and she's got 5 children. So Megan's done a great job. So we all should recognize her. But we do have the mayor-elect here. Lori Goodrich is here. She takes over. And January 1, as you may notice, she's a female too. I think we've got a trend now in Coralville. Lori's done a great job in the council for a long time. So, okay, our last presentation is from West Music Company. I've often said, seriously, that the best music store in America is West Music Company. That's because the leadership really goes back to Pearl West and Steve West and their commitment to the K-12 schools throughout the state of Iowa. So it's a special place, and Ryan and Rachel can give us the update on West Music and what's new, what's going on, and they may lead us a few songs at the end.
Thank you, Tom and Kelly, and thanks everybody for showing up again. We always get roped in. Tom's like, okay, you're doing music, right? So we try to change it up a little bit. I am joined today by Rachel Willicke, the director of West Music's Music Therapy Services program. And I wanted to highlight her and the team there that does such phenomenal work. We did celebrate their 30th anniversary this past year. We have 12 therapists and 2 interns on staff based in eastern Iowa, really adding music making to all populations and really bringing the power of making music to them in the therapy setting. And when we sing a little bit here today, we'll talk a little bit about and illustrate a little bit of how that works. They are doing some phenomenal work, working in the community and working in community members. And one thing I want to highlight, that photo there is actually a highlight from 2 years ago. ChildServe opened up a new facility in the Coralville area just about a year or 2 ago. And we partnered with them to add music therapy services with them. So we're really, really honored to be able to work in those community partnerships. And I think coming together like a community like this does here, it really shows how we are strong and how it really does make a lasting and meaningful difference to a lot of families and kids all over the state of Iowa. The QR code there, if you are interested, access to music therapy. It's not something that's covered by traditional health care or needs. We try to do scholarships to make sure kids and families can gain access to this really important program. If anyone is all interested during the holiday season, you can either go to our music therapy website or scan that QR code and we can get more access there. And then the last thing to follow on what Tom said, we got the cover our Music Trade Music Inc. magazine. Was just recognized last week as the Retailer of the Year. Our first time we've won that award. And really, really proud. Thank you. Proud of all the work, recognized by all the suppliers and partners in the industry. And so we've been recognized before, but never as the Retailer of the Year. So some really great things happening here in Coralville. So with that, do you want me to hold the mic for you, Rachel, so you can... We can do there? Yeah. Okay.
I think that would be fine.
All right.
Yeah.
You good?
I think we're good. Yeah. Thanks, Ryan.
I'll stand with you and sing.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
We're going to do a classic Christmas song from the 1950s. This one was made famous by Perry Como, and it was written by Iowa's own Meredith Wilson. So it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It is one of my very favorite first Christmas songs to do in the season because you can see all the decorations and everything that people have going on with the lights. And it's a wonderful start to the Christmas season. So one of the many reasons that music is such a great tool for therapy is because it is time-oriented and it can be very predictable. So in this song, every time Christmas is going to be sung, it is preceded by, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Oh my gosh, very nice. Okay, so this happens 4 times, and I think we're ready to try, yeah? So it'll fall off, yeah? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, welcome Santa.
Welcome.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go, take a look in the 5 and 10, glistening once again, with candy canes and silver lanes aglow. It's beginning to look a lot like toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door. A pair of hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is the wish of Barney and Ben. Dolls who will talk and will go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen. And Mom and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go, there's a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well, the sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start, and the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart. Nice job, everybody. Good singing. Oh my God. Sure. West Music has 4 Sound Reach choirs that are for adults with developmental disabilities. We have one here in Coralville, one in Cedar Rapids, and then Des Moines and Davenport. And we have 2 coming up in this next, not this week, but next week. On Monday night, the 15th, there is our largest choir we've ever had. Will perform in Marion. And on Tuesday night, the 16th, our Davenport will have their concert. And Marion is Christmas, so if you want to hear some Christmas tunes, Cedar Rapids is a place to be. Is that?
Yep. Thank you, Rachel.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Santa, you have any comments?
Not at all.
Well, I guess that's it. Again, thanks for coming. I think it's a reminder the future is bright. I think at times we get discouraged about what's going on in life, but Johnson County is a special place, and the whole area. Think about the schools, the K through 12, the people here. We just need to remind ourselves how special it is. So, happy holidays. Thanks for coming.